Who is Randy? Don't bring anyone mother into this. Yo, mom in the fucking stand!
I feel like the Weasel, you could have found that guy anywhere on the Sunset Strip in that era of time, because it was like the metal clubs. You remember, like, the Sunset Strip was kind of, that dude very well could have been living there.
Yeah.
Like, how did he come to you?
Wait, but first of all, before you even answer that, can we start so that people know that Pauly, like, where he grew up?
Oh my God!
Just
the
so that they
craziest
know.
life ever.
Like they like so that they know the background. Your mother, Mitzi Shore, oh my God!
Oh,
yeah, it just goes
wrong
out when you
line.
mention my mom's
I know.
name. It just
Jesus.
leave me. Don't bring me in on this bullshit. Leave me alone.
She didn't pass
I don't
me.
want to
That's
deal
why
with that shit.
So,
hilarious.
but like Pauly's mom, ran the Comedy Store, and Pauly basically grew up at the Comedy Store with
and his dad's the comic.
And yes, of course.
Yeah.
And I've met your dad, and there's, he's got Sam Kinison babysitting him, and
Crazy.
and Rodney, and just his craziest.
Rodney was the best.
Really?
Oh my God, so hilarious.
Just
he was
always
the best.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, he was the best.
I believe that.
Yeah, he was the best, and sweetheart and funny and all that stuff.
To
yeah.
Christina's point, do you at an early age, because it seems normal to you, do you go like, I'm going to do this? I'm going to do what all these people are doing?
Well, I have two brothers and a sister, and they're not into it, so it's like they grew up in it as well. I mean, you guys know, you guys are straight comics. You guys are hardcore comics. Like, you don't choose it; it chooses you. Like you live fucking in the valley. Like, you guys have to drive to the Comedy Store. Do you think you like driving to the Comedy Store? No.
Yeah.
But you fucking know once you get up there, you're gonna have that feeling and that that and especially like you guys got to drive to the fucking airport.
Yeah.
And fly to all over America. Do you like that? No.
No,
But
it's
you
the
know
worst.
what's gonna happen when you get there.
Right.
People are gonna be there for you, and your heart is gonna be open. You're gonna feel this like stress reliever. You know what I mean? So
Is your first time
that's what
on
I do,
stage
yeah.
at the store?
No. I stayed away from it for about 2 years.
But you were like, did your mom know
because
you were
I
doing
knew.
it?
Well, I started when I was like 17. I started when I went to Beverly Hills High School, and I was like it was in high school. It was at the beginning of 12th grade, and all my friends were going to college. They were taking the SAT papers, and I'm like, okay, now I got to start. So I just started. Angel Salazar actually wrote my first joke.
Check it out.
Check it out. He wrote my first joke. So so he got me. He got these. I got these comics to start kind of writing me jokes because I didn't know how to write jokes. And then my dad took me to my first gig.
He did. So you had your dad with you.
Yeah, my dad
That's
took
pretty
me to.
cool.
Yeah, and it's in
And
Culver City.
did
yeah.
you feel pressure because it was your father, or did you feel supported because it was your father? Do you know what I mean? It can be either way.
No, he was cool. He was cool. My dad was cool. But I always it was just one of those things that I always knew I was going to do. And like, okay, now I'm going to do it. But I stayed away from the store for 2 years. And then there was a club called the Alley Cat Bistro. And that was that was my first, the LA Cabaret was a club in the Valley.
that.
Do you remember it?
Yeah, it's not there anymore though. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't, I
That's
mean,
an
that
old
was
one.
so long ago.
It's like Encino, Torzano. Yeah.
So a guy named Ray Bishop, who used to own it, Argus Hamilton, used to get me spots there. And then I worked with Jamie at the Laugh Factory for years.
Really?
Yeah, so I stayed away from the store. And then the first time I went on for my mom, I showcased for her. And then...
God, what kind of pressure was
Yeah.
that like? Was that terrifying or
yeah,
no?
it was a nightmare.
It was,
Yeah,
right?
it was a nightmare.
Because I also figured you were either going to be like, nah, it's no big deal, or yeah, it's a fucking nightmare.
No, it was fucking terrible. I was
Yeah.
19. You know what I mean? And,
Did she tell you?
well, let me finish.
Okay,
Let me
okay.
finish.
Okay.
No. So Paul Mooney and Louis Anderson were sitting next to her in the booth, in her booth. So I go on stage, it's packed. Obviously, there's like a wall full of comics. I don't want to say they hate my guts, but it's Mitzi's son, So they're like in the way back. So I'm like on stage. I'm doing these really bad jokes that Angel told me I wrote for me. I grew up in Beverly Hills. My mom's Mexican, whatever my jokes are. I say my jokes, no laughs. So at the end, I break out and start pop locking. I have this boom box. We play Freakazoid, and I put this mask on, and because I was good at pop locking.
Yeah.
So I started popping, and then after I went off stage, I ended good. I'm like, how did I do it? She's like, stick with the dancing. My mom said, stick with the dancing. And then she's like, get away from me. It was like pretty bad, yeah. So like, it's not till I became famous on MTV and I was like drawing people in the main room that she like made me a paid regular.
Really?
Yeah. Jesus. Yeah,
Okay,
like I
so-
literally had to stay away. And then I worked with
Wow.
Kennison for a long time.
But what about...
What did you wait? Hold on. What did you do with Kinnison? What do you mean you worked with him? You opened for him?
Yeah, I opened for him. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. That was
so,
cool.
So is that the birth of the Weasel?
How does the Weasel come
about? Is that the dancing?
I'd have to say it was kind of like all my friends used to call me the Weasel.
They did?
Yeah, like when I was younger, and then a lot of comics like Jackson Purdue. He used to say, "You're a weasel," and then I was always like, "Weasel." Like I'm the one that kind of came up with that. And then I was like, if someone could, if that noise can actually occur, what would that noise sound like? And I was like, that's where the thing came. And then I started like pausing between my words, and that was on MTV.
That was awesome.
Yeah, that was like I would look in the camera, be like, "Check out this video, bro, because it's gonna be major."
Yeah.
And then I start grindage.
The grindage, major grindage.
Grindage. And then I would just start making shit up.
Right.
And then it was like my own language to the audience.
Wow.
And
then from there, I was like kind of had my own slang to the audience.
No wheezing the juice.
That was from Encino Man.
No wheezing the juice.
Juice. So that's how it took off.
The thing about it is like as a kid too, somebody who's a little bit older than you and is cool.
It's so cool.
And then when you learn slang, because you're as a kid, it's like, what does that mean?
Yeah.
So like it was hearing the slang on MTV, but then in the movies too, that you're like, oh man.
And then you do it on the playground. You pretend to be Pauly Shore.
You do it at school, like we're all doing
it's crazy.
Pauly Shore at school.
It was pretty cool. Yeah, it was cool. Yeah,
that's wild, man.
It was dope.